Alright guys, it's old school Will back at you again with another one. This one we're going to talk about idiots and their boats. So with that said, you're going to enjoy this. I know I really enjoyed it, but I'm thankful no one really actually got hurt. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's give it a shot and see what we got here. Now, if you would, first of all, take note, all the kids are up on the bow, which is the front of the boat, and there's 4 of them, I think, there. At least they're wearing the life preservers, but all the parents are in the back, which is on the stern of the boat. So kind of pay close attention as to what's going to happen next here. It seemed like the parents weren't that concerned when their kids went underwater on the front of the boat. Right there, they're fully submerged underwater. Go figure. Now, you may be wondering what's causing all this. Well, this was taken at Point Pleasant Canal in New Jersey, where I guess the water that comes into the canal is pretty rough from the ocean part. And a lot of people, when they come in the canal, the waves are high like this. They don't know how to slow their boats down. And then, again, they may get in the wake of another boat that's in front of them that even compounds the problem. By the way, this boat is sinking. And also to answer that question, yeah, this captain is 100% in error on this one because first of all, that boat looked like it's overloaded. I counted about at least 10 people on that boat, and his speed coming in the canal consistent with the waves. Yeah, I would say so. And like I said, I'm a boat owner also, so I have a little experience. I'm no expert, but I do have experience on boats. And if you also notice, no one's wearing a life preserver. They have to go in, they have to try to hunt down and figure out where the preservers are. I mean, this captain, he should get all kind of fines on this because coming in waves like this, there's no way in the world I would chance it. I would, captain or not, I would have a life preserver on them because you never know what's about to happen, especially waves this rough. Look like the police are trying to get their tow rope together. Hopefully this boat will still float long enough to where they can latch hold to it and drag it back out of the rough waters. But also, if the police are wearing life preservers, which I know is part of their job, that should kind of tell you a lot right there, being a boat owner or captain of a boat. Wow, now the captain, the guy in the blue shirt, finally decided, well, I think it's a good thing to put my life preserver on now. Uh, I don't usually call people idiots, but this guy would definitely get the prize. Now, in this case, they're both at fault because, first of all, the guy in the bigger boat, he's going way too fast. And the captain of the second boat, which, again, nobody's wearing life preservers, guess what? He's too close to the first boat. If he had been back a little bit further, he wouldn't have had such large waves hitting him the way these waves were. So, to answer that question, they're both at fault. And to prove the point, you notice how smooth his boat is right now. And that's because the other boat is further ahead of him, and he's no longer in his heavy wake. You know, just saying, me being a boat, have my own boat, there's no way in the world I would go out in a canal when the waves are this high, because this is a small boat, probably a 21 footer or a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Everybody's up on the bow of the boat, which is adding more weight to it instead of being back on the back end, where they should have been to begin with, so the boat can rise higher in the water on the front. And another thing, see all that water coming out the side, that's because its bilge pump are working. If you have a boat, make sure before you even put it on the water that your bilge pump works, because if they don't, guess what? Your boat's going to fill up with water. That water has nowhere to go, and it's going to sink the boat. Bilge pumps are designed to pump the water out. And you also see how it's lowering the water in the front. That's because it's filling up with water on the front, and it's dragging the front of it down. And one thing I don't get is, why are these people falling so close to each other? They're in each other's wake, and like I said, that's just really adding to the problems. And you see how terrified these kids are. No one's wearing life preservers, and the idiot captain back there who's smoking a cigarette or whatever else he may possibly be smoking. I guess he thinks all of this is funny. But then again, look as you see, everyone's on the front of the boat without the life preservers. And to answer that question, yes, it could have been prevented because all those folks should have been in the rear of the boat to help stabilize it. You notice when the bow went up underwater, that was because all the weight's on the front. And this is a pontoon boat. I never would have taken a pontoon boat in these type of under these type of conditions into that canal. Now the captain of that big white boat, he can care less about anybody else but himself. His wake is doing playing havoc on all the boats behind him, and evidently he just flat out don't care. And I'm not going to continue cutting in like this, but I just want you to see how this boat is in the wake of that big boat that just went by and how it's tossing him from side to side. And then again, no one's wearing life preservers. This lady gets the award, Idiot of the Month. She has her baby in her arms going through this canal, and people have barely been able to make it. And somehow or another, they thought this was a good idea to bring that baby aboard a boat, holding them in their arms. And again, no one's got life preservers on. What do you think happened if that little girl was tossed outside that boat? She's on the front, the bow of it. and she gets run over by her own boat and also the prop on it. I just don't get it. I really don't. One last thing, these kids are going to be so traumatized in this canal. I mean, the ones that are at this particular canal, they're going to be so traumatized, they're not going to ever want to get on a boat again, and rightfully so. Who could blame them? But these idiot captains who think they know how to run a boat, and they don't have a clue. Surprised no one got hurt in this.